Hey, and welcome to Josh Paulson Investigates TV. I'm Josh Paulson, an indie who loves to reverse engineer TV shows to draw story writing lessons from them. Today we'll be studying The Guild, Season 1. Now there will be minor spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to know anything about this series before we get into it, then make sure to watch it and then return here. Today we'll be discussing budget. Now you might think that budget is not a concern for the writer, but in many cases it is. What if you require something in your script that is simply outside of the budget? What if there's something that you are requesting, or if you have too many scenes or characters, or if you need something so specific that anything else would just be really sloppy? Now, there is a difference between asking for something you can do and asking for something you can do well. As a writer, I could say, we need to have a giant robot smash through the wall. Well, you know what? We might be able to do that, but it might not look very good. For us, what that might equate to is having a piece of construction paper and then having a toy transformer rip through the wall. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you can do it well. And I don't know if I want to go here, but the intro for the show is not very good. But a lot of what they have in the show ends up working. Yeah, there are some places where the camera work could be a bit better, but even then, overall, it still works. It's still pretty good. And I've seen stuff that if you think it's bad, believe me, it's not bad. I've seen a lot of different... Anyway, what they did with the show is that they looked at something, and I don't know their exact thought process, but what you can do is that you can look at what are the resources that we actually have available to us. And they saw, hey, you know what? Here are some of the opportunities available to us. They had they had enough people here. They had some children that they could have being in their show. They had these different settings because they had these different houses available. They were able to connect with a local restaurant, or perhaps it was a building that they simply made to look like a restaurant. Whatever the case, you can see that they had these different pieces. And as far as a budget requirement, it's pretty much nil. And there's 3 big questions that you can ask in order to figure out what it is that you have the capacity for as a writer and what your team has capacity for. Now, if you're a writer/producer, you will care a lot more about this. But if you're a part of a small team, it is still very worth considering. So here we go. 3 great questions to ask yourself for considering the budget as a writer. Number 1, what do we have? Okay, maybe we have a good camera. Maybe we have a crappy camera. Maybe we have lighting. Maybe we have no lighting. Okay, if we have no lighting, then can we use natural lighting? Should we do more outdoor shots? How can we work around this issue? Number 2, what do we know? Okay, well, number 2 is who do we know? Okay, well, who are we connected with? Who is it that we can talk to? Oh, you know what? I know somebody who owns a business. Oh, you know what? I know somebody who loves to act. Oh, you know what? I know somebody who would love to work behind the camera. I know somebody who would love to give music. I know somebody who would love to do an animation for us. I know somebody. I know a guy. So what do we have? Who do we know? And then question number 3, where are we more than welcome? Now, this is a little bit different than saying, where are we welcome? You might be welcome at a library or at a restaurant. They're not going to generally turn you away. But if there's a place that really, really likes you, that's a place to keep tabs on. Let's say that you're one of their favorite customers at a restaurant, at a local diner. Then that might be a place that you could film. That might be a place where you could record audio. They might be more open to you doing different things like that. And those opportunities are open because what they're looking at is, hey, you know what? We really, really like these guys. If they just sort of know you, or if you're just there, that's one thing. But if you are more than welcome, if they're glad to see you, you have an open door there. So the 3 questions again, what do we have, who do we know, and where are we more than welcome? This is a great way to check how can we work within restraints, lower the budget, and this doesn't mean that you don't create something great. If you think that greatness is tied to budget, you're wrong. You can create great stories regardless of your budget. Just because your budget is low, don't think that means your potential is low. Just the possibilities. But within the realm of infinite possibilities, do you really think that there is not a valuable story for you to tell that is within your budget? There absolutely is. So go out and hey, if your budget is low, if your budget is limited, then still you can move forward and create a great story that will match the needs of your project. With that said, I'd say Case closed. Thank you for listening. We'll be back with another podcast episode next week. You can follow me on Twitter at Josh Paulson or check out my newly updated website, joshpaulson.com. Way better than the old thing. Have a fantastic week and take care. And let me know what you're up to. Just at me at Josh Paulson. Goodbye.